The Joe Rogan Experience.
Did you guys see that shit that was going down in Philadelphia yesterday? Where one of those street takeovers?
I saw a video, but I don't know what it is.
Cop car drives towards it and hits his lights and thinks he's going to get them to scatter, and they just jump all over the car.
I didn't see that video.
It's
I saw
crazy.
a couple of them. Ugh.
It's crazy.
And what is it they're doing?
Check this out. Look, so the cop, they've got a street takeover, so they just decide to stand in the middle of the street and block traffic.
Oh, is it a protest?
No, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're just getting crazy. I don't know if they're protesting anything. I think they're just a group of kids just decided to get crazy. This is a United States of America. This is like one of the... If you saw that this was happening in Ecuador, you'd be like, yo, Ecuador's out of control, right? But no, this is the United States of America in Philadelphia. Watch what happens to this cop car.
Wait, what was the first... Go back a little bit. What was the person who spun out with like a person hanging off the car?
They're going crazy. It's a street takeover. They're doing that with their cars. That's what they're doing. So they block traffic and then they spin around in circles in their cars and they organize it. So this cop tries to break it up and they just fuck this cop's car up, dude. Hundreds of kids.
Fuck.
And no one's in control of them.
Go Birds.
I mean, if you are in that situation and you're parked in your car in like traffic because there's like
If I'm a cop?
No, but what if you're not a cop?
If I'm
What
a
if you're
cop,
you
I'm just
right
starting
now?
to blast everybody through the
You
windshield.
can't shoot enough people. There's hundreds of people.
It is so
They'll get
funny.
you and they'll kill you.
Yeah,
I can get 16 of them.
No,
You might be able to get 3 of them.
the first time seeing someone with
like John
authority...
Wick, dude, just headshots.
Bro, it'd be such a wild panic knowing you only have 12 bullets.
But the
Oh
first
my
time...
God! Well, the last one's for yourself. You can't let them have you.
The first time you see like someone with authority in your life or something, have to realize like a can't win situation is awkward. Do you know what I mean? Like seeing a cop have to like kind of surrender or have to give up. My step-pop when we were younger, we were driving back. My step-pop was like a power lifter always, like a tough guy to me, I always thought. And we were driving back from the Philadelphia Zoo one day through Fairmount Park, and they had shut it down for what's called the Greek Picnic, which is all the black fraternities like party in this big giant park. And the traffic...
I love the old Greek guy that shows up for it.
Oh, it's a Greek barbecue.
Jamie, put that video back up.
But they, these guys were coming, and they were just walking all through the street, all these like black frat dudes, and like it was a traffic jam because they're in the middle of the street, and sitting like on the hood of our car and stuff like that.
Oh no!
And my step-pop just being like, I just see him just kind of sitting there, kind of eating it, and like realizing that I was like, Joe, you know, it was almost like that. Joe, why aren't you gonna? You know what? You're right. Like this is just
that's
an
one of my
unwinnable
biggest
thing.
fears, that I'm going to be with my son and I'm going to get chumped out by tougher men than me. It's the most horrifying thing in the world, dude.
Look at this video and imagine if you're a person that just was going to see your aunt, got in your car, you got stuck behind this. You had no idea you're going to be trapped in this kind of traffic, and they're just going to block off the street for who knows how long.
I just have to join them. Just start doing fucking donuts.
Also, that people. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That's my car on fire.
The likelihood of one of these kids getting run over is very high.
It happens all the time.
All the time.
Does
they
it?
get hit by cars all the time. They go flying through the air. It's like a dumb thing
Are these
that they
stolen
do.
cars?
Yeah, they're stolen cars. But these guys get so close to each other, they hit each other all the time. All the time. People go flying through the air.
I will say,
Boom!
if you're a teenager, it does look like it's a lot of fun.
Oh, look, man, if you don't have a dad and your mom's a cunt and she does meth, yeah, I'd be there too.
It's a nice cut loose.
Dude, being in the middle right there,
I'd be
dude.
there too.
Imagine being in the middle right there. You'd feel like a king.
Yeah, if your dad beats you, you know, if your dad's an alcoholic who just beats the shit out of you and the only love you get is from your friends on the streets, I'd be doing that too.
I was telling these guys yesterday, I saw a video where it's a guy, the people filming anything now, it's a guy in Times Square who films himself going up and just robbing a guy. Like just talk. He just goes, "Hey man, come here, come here." He goes, "You're doing a new documentary called I Just Got Robbed." And he's like, "What?" He goes, "I'm gonna need your wallet. Don't run. Don't be weird." He's just like intimidate, and the
guy's name is Rob. He's clever.
The kid's so happy that he's not getting beat up and just nervous, and the happy he's not getting beat up. Like he pleasantly like gives him everything, and it's kind of like, "Now go over there." He's like, "All right, man, be easy, man, be easy." And the guy's like, "All right, man, cool." And like he just gives him his stuff and walks away.
He gives him his stuff back?
No.
No,
he robs him.
he just calmly does it on YouTube.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts.
Is it even illegal though?
Are you
If
sure?
I just go
Are you
up to
sure
you-
it's real?
It seems very, very real.
Are you sure that he doesn't give it back to him after they stop filming,
Doesn't
so that
appear-
it's not a crime? And it's just a stunt?
No, I think this happens all the time. People get arrested actually for it. I mean,
Really? You know how crazy you are.
there's people who film some
there's one
guy
story,
like
there was
holding
a-
their guns and saying, "I'm about to go kill so and so."
This happens all the time in New York. Like this happened to like a former Miss New York. She was in the park, and these two young, like maybe Puerto Rican kids or black kids, they come up and like, hey, we're trying to sell candy for our basketball team. That old scam. And then she was like, I don't have any cash. They were like, oh, you could send us a Zelle. And she was like, sure. And then they got her to give them their phone, and then they just sent themselves $2,000 on her Zelle and handed her phone back and just ran away. And they just couldn't get the money back.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I stopped paying attention when you said they may have been black or Puerto Rican, and you said selling candy for their football team or whatever. I'm like, it definitely was black or Puerto Rican.
Well, no. I know. I wasn't sure if they were black
Never
or
had a
Puerto
white
Rican.
kid try to run the old buy some M&Ms from me scam.
You got to have laws, kids. Or it gets dangerous out there. You leave people to their own devices, and you get that shit. You get people going wild in the streets.
Dude, it's
very scary.
Thank
to see
God
that.
we
It's
all
very, very
survived being that age, because you're just so stupid, and yet you're in the body of kind of a grown-up, and you just have like all this, just testosterone and fucking being young and not knowing. Like I could so easily, if I lived in Philly, have been at one of those
decisions
things.
away from being at one of those things when I was a kid.
But does the guy, the idiot who keeps jumping over the car and lighting the fire in the middle, is he look back like, is he 55 one day going like, oh yeah, I was a little
Do you think he lives to be
rapscallion.
55?
No, probably not. He probably dies under a donut of a fucking souped up SUV.
There's a high likelihood that young man's involved in other questionable activities. Yeah.
No, maybe, but I'm saying, but there's just those guys, like, I don't know how you, like, grow up out of that that's going to be something that really nails it.
I mean, my childhood wasn't
Outside of entertainment.
crazy far from that. I mean, I just wasn't with that crew, but I was doing pretty, like, rancid shit. I was stealing and...
You guys just couldn't afford to pull that off. You would have.
Well, it
should've
wasn't
been
a
doing that.
thing. It wasn't a thing back then. Like, that's only been a thing for the last, like, how many years, Jamie? As the street takeovers?
Yeah, with the internet.
make internet
with,
videos, yeah.
15, 20, I don't know. Honestly, maybe.
Never. When I was a kid, there was none of that. No one ever blocked the street and did donuts.
Yeah.
You did donuts in the school parking lot if you knew where the cops were.
They would drag race, though, in Philly. They would, like, block off streets and, like, drag race illegally until they
Yeah,
broke
that's
them up and
true.
shit.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Did you find Jamie the guy robbing?
No, I checked a couple places. I didn't really
1980s.
find it.
Look at that.
Instagram, actually.
Yeah, right.
Sideshows. They call them sideshows?
Yeah, that's how I saw it first. It's a thing from the Bay Area.
So they first occurred from the streets of Oakland during the mid 1980s, back in the olden days.
Yeah, it does
before
seem like
anybody
a
knew
very
anything.
Asian-y activity.
Yeah, I think them stealing the cars is probably more of a newer thing. I think, back in the day, they were just like, it was like a car show, essentially.
Right. They were showing off their cars.
Yeah, in the 70s and 80s, they'd have the ones with the hydraulics and shit.
Yeah.
That would happen.
Oh, it comes from a Bay Area rapper, Richie Rich's Sideshow.